welcome everyone. Welcome to our Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Funds information event today. My name is Kimberly Wellman and I have been part of this beautiful community for 3.5 years now, and I'm joined by some of my beautiful business partners and ambassadors today just to share more about our community, what we do, and why we're so passionate about our global wellness mission of helping people create more health, more freedom, more flexibility, more purpose and passion, and more impact and income in their lives as well. So whether you're tuning in with us live today, perhaps you're watching the recording, a very big welcome to you. Maybe you're here to learn a little bit around the health side of what we do and our incredible nutrition support range. Or maybe you're someone that's here today because you have felt that, I call it that niggling flame within for something more in your life. And perhaps you might be considering a passion project, a side business, or a complete career change, like I was when I first looked at this in the new age business space of what I like to call drop shipping and e-commerce and location-free work that allows you to truly live and breathe that laptop lifestyle with complete time freedom and flexibility. And today you're going to hear not just what we do, but my favorite part of this, why so many of us are doing it these days. You're going to hear some super inspiring stories of how many of us women have really turned pain to power in life, how we've really turned breakdowns into breakthroughs, how we've turned challenge into strength and really leveled up in all of these areas of life. And you know what? I love to pre-frame this because even though I can speak to you today with a level of empowerment and confidence around all of these things, it really wasn't that long ago when I was actually far from all of those things and feeling very trapped and capped in life. And I'm going to share more on my story at the end of our call today. But let's get started, right? What do we do here in our beautiful community? I'm going to hand over to the lovely Tanya to share more about our business vehicle. Over to you, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Kimberly, for that beautiful introduction. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Tanya, and I myself have been part of this amazing community now for 4 years. I'm absolutely in love with it. But I tell you what, when I first started, I wasn't necessarily in love. I was just full of desire. I really wanted to change my life. My life at the time was full of pain. I had a lot of things that I was really unhappy around. One of them was my job. I was really tired of the 9 to 5. I was really wanting to spend more time with my daughter, who really needed me at the time. She was suffering a lot and I just couldn't be there for her. I had to put my job first. And so for me, I was pretty ready when this opportunity was handed to me to actually create some, not just some income, but actually some time freedom, because that was the most important thing for me at the time. But I'm not going to lie, I was really skeptical. I had a lot of things going on in my head at the time. And one of those things was, I just didn't want to sell. I'd come from a social work background, but before that, I was really in retail and I just couldn't stand any kind of selling or anything. I didn't want to have a bar of it. And, what I actually found was that I didn't have to sell anything. I was actually a customer. When I first started, I was really sick. And I had a lot of amazing benefits from using our program. And so that's all I did was I shared it. And the beauty of this is all you've got to do is share something that you absolutely love and get paid for it. I mean, it's the same as you would be sharing your favorite hairdresser or your favorite restaurant. It's exactly the same thing. And that's all I did. And honestly, people came to me. It was just beautiful how it worked. And another thing that I didn't want to do was I just didn't want to be that person that harassed my friends. I had this thing where I really wanted to everyone to like me. Like most of us will come in with this, we've got to have people liking us. And I didn't want to lose friends over this. It was really something that I carried with me quite deeply. And, the beautiful thing about this was I didn't have to worry about that either. I've actually gained friends. So when I first started, I had about 300 people on my friend list. I now have well and truly over 2,000. And that's, because people just they are drawn to what we're doing. They love that we have a beautiful community. They love that we have, a products and a program that actually support people's health. They love that we offer inspiration and, freedom for time options, choices. That's the other thing that we offer. And really all I did was I just sharing my story and the benefits that I was noticing on the program, and I gained customers, and my customers fell in love with it as well and wanted to also do the same as me. And that's all I did, honestly. There was no hassling of my friends, which was so good for me. It was such a plus. Another thing that I was really looking for was I was looking for something that was going to get me obviously out of my job. I decided when I started that I didn't want to do my job anymore. I also was in a really negative work environment and I wanted out of that. And so we were looking at other ways also to create income. I was broke and I wanted more income, but I also wanted something that was going to pay us in time so that I was able to leave. We were able to travel like we wanted to. My husband and I, my children are older. We also wanted to be able to look after them financially if they even needed that. And so we were looking for something that was going to give us a legacy. Well, at the time we were looking at traditional business because we thought, well, that's going to give us the CEO title that I really wanted. I wanted to work for myself. It's also going to give us more money, right? And it's also going to give us more time freedom. Well, that was a laugh. That absolutely does not happen. We were looking at traditional businesses that were, for initial startup, was about $400,000, which was insane. And then there's no way that we would have even got any profit back on that on at least the first 3 to 5 years. And then, of course, there's no time freedom in that because we were stuck and tied to this traditional business. And, we had to manage staff and there was all these overheads. And, for this, to do this, honestly, at about $15 a month, and to have something that pays you within your first month, you get profit within your first month, to me, that was a no-brainer. We had no overheads. We could do this around our time, around what I was currently doing so that I could work towards leaving my job. And so, from going to being stuck and, only having a certain amount of income, being told what to do, being told when I could have time off, to actually having the freedom of choice to be able to do it my way, to work around my own life, to do it, earn full-time income on part-time hours. And that was an absolute no-brainer for me. And, 4 months in, I left my job. And so now I get to choose what my day looks like, how I turn up every day. And of course, the other thing is, in the meantime, I'm growing a passive income. We're able to support our children, our young adult children, which is fantastic. So, here am I now getting these amazing choices. I would recommend this to everybody as a beautiful way to create whatever it is you want around your life or in replace of what you're currently doing. It gives you so many different options. So thank you so much. I'm going to pass you back to Kim. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. So beautiful. Always such an empowering story from you. We're going to come across straight away to you, Jody. Would love for you to share why you joined the business.
Hey, lovely ladies. Thank you so much for having me on. I get so much joy out of listening to all of these stories, and I just love how everybody's story is maybe slightly the same, but sometimes completely different. The diverse range of people that join this and love it is I see it all the time in all the beautiful women that I've been able to share this with, and I get to watch online and in person as well. So my name's Jodie. I have been in this business now for over 5 years. It's just flown. And prior to knowing about this business, I knew nothing about online businesses before I started this. I didn't know they existed. And I certainly never thought that I could ever do one. But the situation we were in, my husband's a plumber. I've got 3 young kids. I had 3 very young kids at the time. And our decision when we became parents was for me to be a stay-at-home mum. And I absolutely loved that role. I loved being home with my kids. I didn't want to leave them. I didn't want to put them in childcare. That was our choice. But life was really stressful at times. I can remember some days deciding which bills we were going to pay, which bills we weren't going to pay. Living on one wage was hard. Having your own business was hard. Some months were good, some months were really bad. And I can remember waking up in the morning sometime and I just wouldn't even want to ask him if we had work on that day because I did not want to know the answer. It was really terrifying. And as you know, when you're in that state of stress all the time, it's really bad for your health as well. So I went through some really challenging health issues. And I, after coming through that and still being in a difficult financial position, I'm grateful and lucky enough for good friends of ours to actually come to us and say, hey, we know that you guys, you want to look for a job. I was thinking, what am I going to do? Am I going to be like a night packer so that I can still spend time with my kids? I don't know. And they said to us, we know that you actually already love the products because I was on a health journey. I was already trying to build my immune system, reduce inflammation in my body. And they said, why don't you, would you like to do this with us? We're going to do it too. And it was my husband actually who said, yes, she'll do it, because he could see that, this could be something. I had no idea what it could be for me, but I knew that I thought, what have we got to lose really? Like, it's hardly anything to start your own business. You get to go on a health journey. You get to share products and a program that is incredible, that changes people's lives. I knew I could share something that I loved and believed in. So I just followed the system. I got to join a community of beautiful people who helped me, raised me up, guided me through everything that I needed to know. It didn't feel hard. It didn't feel awkward. It actually was exciting and fun. And I can remember, being up late at night because I wanted to work on my business and who knew that I could have my own business? I never, ever thought that I would ever be able to do that. So, fast forward, or even 2 months in, I was like, I got paid and I thought, wow, maybe this could work. Maybe I could just do this and not actually have to go and get a job. And I can remember the excited feeling that I had at the time. And so, yeah, a year in, 2 years in, 5 years on, and I was able to create a full-time income. I was able to stay home with my babies. I was able to prioritize the things that I loved and the things that were really important to me before work. I got to put this in and around my life already. I got to drop off my daughter at school, pick her up, spend time at sports carnivals. And to this day, I still get to do that. All of my kids are now at school. I now have days to myself. I now have a bit more time. Life changes along the way, and this business slots in wherever you go. And as long as you have a passion to help people and, you love people, I think this can work for anyone. I had no idea that this could be something that I could do, but I feel like the community that we have around us that helps and supports us all the way through is something that really makes a huge difference. So I will be forever grateful for this community, this business, and what it has given me. And I absolutely love sharing it with other women and men sometimes to see, how it can change their lives. Thanks, guys.
Incredible. Thank you, Jodie. A beautiful story as always. And we'll come straight across to you, Alison. We'd love to hear your journey in the community and business so far.
Hey, wow, Jodie, thank you so much for sharing your story. I can definitely relate, and I absolutely love following your journey as well. My name's Ali, and I began my journey in this business 4 years ago now as a stay-at-home mum to a 4-year-old boy. I had hit pause on my healthcare career after having kids because I really wanted to be a present parent and just never miss a moment. And I absolutely loved being able to do all of the activities with him, like swimming and music and gym. And I definitely didn't want to go back to work and put him in daycare. We were very, very attached. But we outgrew our little house and we bought a block of land to build our dream home by the beach. And unfortunately, the market turned and the banks came back and said that they wouldn't loan us as much as they first said. So we would need a lot of cash to finish building our house. We couldn't sell our other house either because the market had dropped so much that it was actually worth less than what we had paid for it. So we ended up renting it out and we had to move back in with my parents. And as an adult with my own family, moving back in with my parents just felt like failure. I felt like I couldn't provide for my family, and it was really, really hard. To kick us in the guts even more, we had to stop doing all of the activities we loved because we needed to save that cash. So no more music, swimming, gym, no more shopping, no more lunch dates or traveling. And I still remember the day when my husband asked me to go back to work. And even though I knew it was coming, I felt like my throat was closing off and my heart just shattered into 1,000 pieces. I just ached with grief for the stay-at-home mum life that was such a huge part of who I wanted to be. So I went in search of a way to earn an income from home because daycare was just not an option for us. And when I found this opportunity, it just made so much sense to me because I was so passionate about preventative health, having had a healthcare career. And it was a way that I could earn an income from home by helping other people. So I had no idea what I was doing. I had never owned a business before. I didn't know how to use social media. I didn't know anything about marketing or selling. And I'm a massive introvert, so I had very low expectations, but I also knew that I needed this to work because the absolute last thing I was doing was putting my son into daycare and going back to work. So I made the decision to start, and I remember my knees were weak and my hands were shaking with fear when I made that decision. I thought I might throw up, but I had nothing to lose. And I was surrounded by an incredible community of people who had my back. And although I was in charge of when and where I worked and what I did, I never felt alone. I had so many new friends, and since we have so much in common, we're going to be friends for life. And since then, we've obviously finished building our dream home. We've moved in and I've had another baby. She's 2 now. So I'm so grateful to be able to work from home in the times that suit me around my family and to uphold my values of present and conscious parenting. And I never have to miss a moment. So that's my story. And I hope I've inspired someone else who wants so badly to spend more time with their kids. And I'm passing you back to Kimberly.
Wow, thank you, Ali. All of the feels right there, and I can so relate. So thank you to you and to all of the beautiful ladies. I love that feeling of seeing women step into their greatness and also into creation mode in life, right? Rather than just living on default and staying frozen in average. So appreciate you all. We're going to switch gears a little bit now because behind any successful business, there has to be a super solid and successful product and service at the end of the day. And I might be a little bit biased, but I truly believe that what we share is something that has not only stood the test of time for the last 3 decades. It's in incredible demand right now, and it's just something that is never going out of fashion, right? and that is our health and our well-being. So I'm going to hand you over to the beautiful Ellen to share more about how we get to actually not only empower ourselves on a health level, but go out there and help others get the edge when it comes to their health and well-being as well. So over to you, beautiful Ellen.
Thanks so much, Kimberly. When I heard about this incredible product, I was like, come on, shut up and take my money. It's going to blow your mind. I absolutely love it because, as Kimberly said, it's something that's not going to go out of fashion, and it's really simple, but it's really powerful and complicated too. Like, we actually have science and stuff to back it. So what is this? Who's this company we've partnered with? It seemed kind of crazy for us to start like a business and create our own product ourselves when the most research nutraceutical product is already on the market, and it's Juice Plus. And this company has integrity. It has stood the test of time, and we get to do all the fun stuff and help people with this incredible product while they deal with all the crappy yuck stuff of business behind the scenes. So we get to help people with their health and wellness and help people to create healthy cultures within their home. So when we're talking about nutritional support within the Juice Plus range, they only have 4 products, and it's targeting our micronutrition, our macronutrition, our good fats, and the kids. Now, why that might sound a little bit too complicated for you, and for me it is. I'm not a science girl, but I know good fats help our squishy bits, our heart health, our brain health, our joints. Our micronutrition is the oil in our car, and our macronutrition is the fuel that pumps us every day. And while this is important to me right now, it's because my car's stuffed, and I know what good things need to go in there, and I know what it looks like when you don't have a car that works, and how much more important is our body to be looking after that and fueling it every day. So the beauty of these products is to bridge the gap between what we are having every day and what our bodies should be. And at the moment, we're all depleted. Like, let's be real. If you looked at your diet for the last 3 days, when did you get your 7 to 13 serves of non-GMO, chemical-free, pesticide-free fruits and veggies? And did that consistently? Because I sure haven't. I'm a mum of 4. And even though I create a space where they can have healthy food, every day is certainly not perfect. So our products are simple: fruit, vegetable, berries, powders, encapsulated. We have macronutrition in the shakes. These are smoothie boosters. They're awesome. I love them because they're like the lazy dinner. And if I give them to the kids and fill them out of it, I know they're getting broccoli sprouts, they're getting pomegranate powder, mushroom powder. There's like lots of different grains and good stuff in there. And they've got no idea, even though they reckon they do now because it's been ages and they hear me do my spiel, but they can't taste it, and they actually want to make the shakes themselves. They absolutely love them. And they sneak other veggies in them now too, which is just amazing. So our family went from a family who really needed better health in our lives, and for me, it was the irritated, cranky mum that was just too freaking tired to care, to somebody who gets to show up every day and be the best version of myself to help them and to help other people on their health journey. And I don't want to cry, so I'm going to move on and ask Sophie what her story is with these incredible products. Because I haven't heard it before, so I'd love to hear from you, Soph.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I first came across the products and the beautiful programs that we have almost 5 years ago. And so if I rewind and look at myself 5 years ago, I was really healthy. Like, I don't have like a, oh my gosh, I was really unhealthy or anything like that. I was probably too healthy. Like, I had transitioned into being vegan. All I ate was plants. Like, I literally was like a fruit and veggie monster. So when I came across these, I was like, they're not going to do anything for me. Like, I'm healthy. What's some extra fruit and veg going to do? But I was still, and I'd kind of got used to it, was still struggling with IBS. I got told I had IBS my whole entire life. So when I was younger, now with everything I know, it was definitely stress related. My parents split up when I was 7. So obviously that's a very traumatic time for a child, and my digestive issues started then. And as I got older, it flared up again in uni. I did everything under the sun to figure it out. I did all the tests. I did all the elimination diets. I drank those disgusting things. I tried to figure it out. And I remember I went to see a nutritionist, and she said, all right, let's do an intolerance testing. Let's actually see what your gut is being irritated by. And I thought, amazing, we're going to find out. We're going to finally find out what is irritating my stomach. I think they tested for like 74 things and everything came back negative. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So she just said, I think you need to heal your gut. I think you just really need to focus on these foods. Let's avoid these that are a bit more inflammatory, which helped. But I was still waking up bloated every day. Like I just got used to it. I just absolutely got used to it. I also was struggling with my skin. So I struggled with my skin my whole teenage life. When I was about 17, the next thing the doctor said to me was either Roaccutane, which is very, very intense, or you can go on the pill. And I thought, let's just, do that because I'm covering two bases here. Perfect, let's do that. All my friends were having really good results with it. So my skin cleared up and I was on the pill for about 10 years. Then I came off it. And everything happened again. So it had started to clear up. But at the time when I got introduced to Juice Plus, I was still having breakouts every single week. There was never a time where I had clear skin. And I was probably 28 at the time, 27, 28. And I thought, am I ever going to have clear skin, And I also had some pretty hectic anxiety happening. It had flared up in uni and I just didn't have the tools to really help me. So yeah, when I started taking these, I had no expectations. I was kind of like, all right, we'll see. Like nothing's going to happen. And I now realize, like, even though I was eating heaps of fruits and veggies, I was getting the servings in. I was totally nailed with servings, but maybe not every day, but most days. But I wasn't getting that variety. I had my favorites, like we all do, but I wasn't getting the variety and all the colors of the rainbow. And I was missing out on so much nutrients with just my little faves over here, right? So I think my body just really needed that healing on a deep cellular level. So everything actually started to change pretty quickly and I was really surprised. And alongside the programs that we have, I really learned about stress management, how that impacts my digestive system, how that impacts my skin, how it's all kind of connected. So within days, my bloating was gone. Like I remember the first morning I woke up, because I would wake up like 6 months pregnant and be uncomfortable for the rest of the day. And so when I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, like my stomach's flat. It was amazing. And for, someone that's growing up that loves the beach, I would actually not go to the beach because I was bloated and my skin was flaring up. And it breaks my heart to think that because I am a mermaid and it's like my home. So that really helped. My skin started to clear up. I hardly ever get breakouts now, only around the time of my cycle. And my confidence has just grown so much. My hair is just ridiculous. I've always had quite long, thick hair, but it just grows so quickly. I got a haircut in, I think it must have been April, and it was about there. So I had a really good chop. And I now have just so many amazing tools in my tool belt to really help with stress and feelings of anxiety and things like that. And I don't say that I have anxiety. I don't say that I have IBS. They have been completely removed from my life. So yeah, that is my story. Thanks for listening.
Incredible. And you are a real life mermaid with those golden locks. So we are going to come across to Renelle to share her story as well.
Hi guys, thanks so much for having me, and I love hearing all the stories. Sophie, I can so relate to the IBS. I second that. These products have been amazing for my IBS because I've suffered with it for so long. But today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my journey with the products and the program for my children. So 5 years ago this month as well, I came in across them, and they had 3 kids under 3 at the time. We had 26-week-old twins, and our twins were undergoing a lot of operations and medical support, and our daughter was born with a hearing impairment, and our son had quite a few different things going on, come home on home oxygen and so forth. So from a immune side of things, they were already behind the 8 ball. And for me, as a really tired mama of 3 under 3, I was barely looking after myself, and I was doing the best I could to look after them. But I think like all of us, we just don't get the variety or the quantity that we need of whole food goodness into their bodies. So I started them on our chews, and we had just been to a naturopath for my daughter, who was at the time only eating white foods and not keeping down much more than that at all. We went to a naturopath, got some bloods done. She suggested a whole range of different things, and we opted to not take them and instead start on this amazing program and product. And within 4 months we went back and had her bloods tested again, and the results were amazing. Her blood was the healthiest it had ever been. And she said, the naturopath said, well, what did you do? Because you didn't take what we had recommended. And I said, well, all we did was change her diet at home to a more whole food base, incorporated the products. And she said, well, keep doing what you're doing, because her leaky gut had subsided. She was craving more whole foods, and her ear infections had cleared up so much so that we were able to cancel what would have been her 4th operation since she was born. And I remember that feeling of like, oh my gosh, finally a break, finally able to take a breather instead of being in and out of hospitals and being heavily medicated for all the things that were going on for them. And this mama could, finally get on top of her health as well, because with any child, you can also sponsor with any adult, you can also sponsor a child for free on the products when they're 4 and above. And by that time our son had turned 4, and I was suffering with my own adrenal fatigue, barely getting out of bed to make it through the day. I was living off coffee and chocolate and muffins and whatever I could grab my hands on, just so that I could get through the day and get through their appointments. So these just gave me a boost of energy that had me sparkling from the inside out. I felt results within 5 days of being on them. And what made sense to me was that it's what nature intended for us. So it was a no-brainer for me to say yes, because whole food is what we're meant to flood our bodies with, and the synergy that was happening within our bodies, our palates were actually changing, and we were craving more of that goodness naturally. I didn't have to force it down their throat. My daughter, who was only eating whites, was now gravitating towards colorful foods, and we just made one simple change at a time. We really just took the notion of, okay, great, we're going to implement this and we're going to do this really well with the products. And then we added the program in, and we increased our water, or we added a new recipe in for the week. So it really just made it really simple to have long lasting change. And I'm so happy to say that it's even helped my ASD son, who is, sensory intolerant and there's been different behavioral issues, to be able to have this longevity of a program and a product that is simple, it's convenient, and it just makes sense. I will never go off it, and I love sharing it with so many different people to enhance their lives as well, because at a time where immunity and health is so important to so many, it really can make all the difference. So thanks, that's my story. I'm going to hand it back to you, Kimberly.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we appreciate that. We appreciate everyone sharing today, because getting up here and sharing, it's also being very vulnerable, right? And sharing parts of our personal and private lives as well, in an effort to really inspire others. So thank you. We appreciate all of those stories. I feel like it's been the red carpet rollout of all this inspiration and these beautiful stories today, and you girls are absolutely on fire. So I guess in closing, if this has lit that fire within you, I always just love to be very clear that, some women join us in this space purely for the social element of the community and just getting healthier and, treating this as a bit of a casual passion project as well. Others love to come in and they love to enjoy that extra income from that part-time new age side hustle. And some of you are here for a big career change, right? And what we just love to say is that we welcome all of those desires, and we just love raising women up, no matter what this could be for you at this point in your life. I was personally here for the career change as a mum of 3 within 19 months of age. Including a wild set of twins. I was working full-time in a corporate communications career, and my husband Ben was running our traditional business, and it was just life in the fast lane. But the fast lane it just definitely wasn't the fun lane for us, because we were going round and round in the same work week, the same schedule, the same challenges presenting themselves over and over. And amongst all of that, I was really starting to lose myself as a woman, to be honest with you. And I didn't really know who I was or what lit me up outside of being a mum anymore. And to top all of that off, I guess that phase in our life, Ben's business was competing with the online world, and our traditional business grew stagnant and started going backwards very quickly as well. So despite all of the long hours and the sacrifices that we were making to try and get ahead again in life, we were just left with not much left in the tank and not much left in the bank at the end of the weeks. So this community has taught me how to create again and create a life in accordance to our family's values. And now, because of this business, I've been able to retire out of that corporate career and in my late 30s do this full time. This is full-time work, helping people get healthier and happier, and doing that for myself as well. And I get to do that in less hours, but with more impact and more income as well, and own my time with freedom and flexibility. So what held me back though initially? Time, money, social media, self-doubt, skepticism, all of those things. And I really encourage you today to lean in and know that all of that fear might be there, but just get your questions answered. Because I held back for about 3 to 4 years watching this and watching this community take off. And my only regret is that I didn't start sooner, because I had that skeptical hat on for so long. And skepticism, this can be a little bit hard to hear. It's a sign of low self-worth as well, not objective intelligence. So the world has changed, right? And now more than ever before, we're living in a crazy world. Business has changed. And you can resist that with fear, or you can really move into that with love in this space. So if any of this really resonates with you, please reach out to the partner or the ambassador who shared this with you today, and they're going to run you through how the business vehicle operates, whether that's as a casual passion project, whether that's as a full-blown new age business, and really show you how you can create the change that you're really craving in your life, with support, with guidance, with mentoring, with coaching, with a blueprint system, and with the backing of a 50-year-old company. So one of our team mantras is you are a blessing, whether you do a little or a lot. And I guess I just leave you with this today, that if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? Because only you can be the one that commits to the change that you're craving. But you know what? It's also a really magic feeling when you get to do that with support and with empowering women like the lineup you've seen today in your corner as well. And I truly believe in this day and age, we're all stronger together. So a huge thank you to all of our speakers. We are back. This event is run twice every month. So if you'd like to tune in again, or you'd like to hear some more stories, then again, please feel free to reach out, and we'll be more than happy to share this with you. So cool to hang out with you guys. See you all again soon. Bye for now.